You ever heard of sleep paralysis? It's when you're either going to sleep or waking up and you can't move or speak for a few minutes. Some people say it's the scariest thing that they've ever experienced. I don't know about that, but I've had it happen to me a few times, and I got to say, it is pretty terrifying. I hope this gives you the idea for a story. If you write a story based off of this idea, please share it in the comments. Let's get started. The old house creaked and groaned, a symphony of settling wood and loose shutters moaning in the breeze. Rain lashed against the windows, each drop exploding into 1,000 tiny shards on the glass. Inside, nestled deep within a thread-count 400-year-old quilt, lay a young woman named Clara. She was fast asleep, her breathing soft and even, her face relaxed and peaceful. That was until a scratching sound pierced through the quiet of the night. It started low, a dull thrumming that seemed to vibrate in Clara's very bones. Then it grew, becoming more insistent, more frantic. Clara stirred, her eyes fluttering open a sliver. In the darkness, she couldn't see anything, but the sound was growing louder, more urgent, a scratching at her window. She tried to call out, but no sound came out. She was trapped, unable to move, unable to speak. The scratching at the window intensified. Then a voice, raspy and dry like autumn leaves skittering across pavement, whispered right outside her ear. "Let me in, Clara. Please let me in." Panic surged through Clara. Her heart hammered against her ribs, threatening to burst free. She wanted to scream, to thrash, to do anything to escape the suffocating grip of terror that seemed to be constricting her chest. But she couldn't. She was frozen, held captive by an unseen force. Outside, the wind picked up, rattling the window frame. The voice, now closer, raspier, pleaded, "Please, Clara, let me in. I'm so cold." Tears streamed down Clara's face, hot and heavy against her skin. She wanted to wipe them away, but she couldn't move. She wanted to call for help, but no sound escaped her lips. All she could do was watch in helpless horror as the scratching became more frantic, more desperate. Then, as abruptly as it started, the scratching stopped. The voice, now a chilling whisper, seemed to slither into her ear. "Don't worry, Clara. I'm coming for you in the morning." And then silence. The heavy silence of the night pressing in on all sides. Clara lay there, her body trembling, her mind screaming. When the first rays of sunlight finally touched her eyelids, she forced herself to open them, expecting to see the horror that had visited her in the night. But there was nothing. No sign of a break-in, no evidence that anyone had ever been there. Just the rain-streaked window and the swaying trees outside. Shaking, she got out of bed, her legs weak, her stomach churning. As she stumbled to the window, she saw it. Scratched into the glass, almost invisible in the morning light, was a message. "Let me in." Shaking, Clara backed away from the window. What had happened to her? Had she imagined it? Was she going crazy? Days turned into weeks, and Clara tried to put the terrifying night behind her. But then, just as the sun began its slow descent toward the horizon, she heard it again, the scratching at the window. At first, she dismissed it, blaming overactive nerves. But as the scratching grew louder, more insistent, she knew she couldn't ignore it any longer. She stood frozen, watching as dark shapes danced on the window pane, taking on grotesque forms in the firelight. Then, as the shadows deepened and the scratching reached a fever pitch, she saw him. A gaunt, shadowy figure pressed against the glass, his eyes burning like hot coals in the darkness. His lips pulled back in a ghastly grin, revealing teeth that were long and sharp like shards of ice. And then he was gone. Clara never saw him again, at least not in the daylight. But every night as darkness fell, he came back. He scratched at her window, begging, pleading, promising that if she let him in, he would protect her, love her, cherish her forever. But she never did. And as the years passed, his visits became less frequent, his pleas more desperate. Until one day he stopped coming altogether. Clara never forgot the terror of those dark, lonely nights. She never forgot the scratching at the window, or the voice that whispered promises of love and protection. And she never forgot the face of the creature that danced in the firelight, forever burned into her memory, a haunting reminder of the evil that lurked just beyond her sight.